I'm Polina Semach. Currently, I am working in CNA. I am doing a show called Talking Point. I am an assistant producer. As an assistant producer, you not only help the producer, you also learn a lot more about behind the scenes, what goes on behind the scenes in producing the show, how it's actually very complex. You have to talk with a lot of people, get a lot of approvals, but and also things like looking for locations and for props. But all in all, you realize just how important every little thing is when it comes to the show for the viewers to make it entertaining and informative. So that is what I really enjoy about the show. I definitely find that the skills that I've learned for assistant directing, although it's for assistant directing, I can still apply for assistant producing because there are certain aspects that we do need to know and that we take note of, like the production scheduling, the production operation. Initially, I was not studying media specifically. I was in a communications course. But when I joined the Film and Performing Arts Club in my university, that's where I realized that this was where my passion lied. And from there onwards, I started taking on internships, learning more about different aspects of media, such as the very technical work, like the camera, and moving on to the creative side, what goes on behind the scenes, pre-production wise. And that's where I had an idea that I was actually much more interested in creatively expressing my opinion rather than working behind the scenes, like behind technical elements. So this is why I try to take on roles and to be interviewed for roles that allow me to get a step closer to being, for example, a producer, a director. I like to keep my options open. Before I entered the industry, I did not think it would be so hectic and needing so much time and effort, because I thought that, oh, filmmaking, it seems very fun, it seems quite carefree. And yes, sometimes it can be that way, especially if you have a good working team with you, everyone knows their place, everyone helps each other. But there's also so many complications that may arise, and it can indeed be quite stressful. But it's more of learning to work with that stress, reminding yourself that actually this is part and parcel of the work, and I do enjoy what I do, and in the end, when the product comes out well, it's all worth it in the end. It may be so to need passion in the industry beforehand. Perhaps it could be an interest that you picked up along the way in clubs like me, or if you gained inspiration from your favorite directors, for example, or producers for a show or film. But initially, there are also people I have met who gained interest actually only when they started working in the field, because they weren't sure what they wanted to do. They just knew that, oh, maybe I can try this out. And that's where they explore different fields in the media. And that's where they discover, actually, I may have a potential for script writing. Why don't I try that out? And they realized they enjoyed it very much. Some challenges I had encountered working with people is definitely actually the lack of communication, or the tendency to miscommunicate some information, assuming certain people understand what you need when actually you need to show it, you need to really plan it out. Like there's things like storyboarding, and there's, how do you call it, script reads, table reads, right? I think that is crucial. Because miscommunication can lead to a lot of problems, such as delays in the work and having to redo a lot of things, and that is budget time, which we all know is very precious in our world, working world. I have partaken in a lot of short film projects in my time with a group of friends, and one thing that I can share is the miscommunication that arose, because although we had storyboarded the concept of the short film, and we've met up and we've drafted it. But when we started filming, there was the issue of like the actors, for example. The director couldn't really portray or describe what they wanted, and the actors were also confused, and that led to a time delay because we had to reshoot. And when that was such a focus aspect, then we started to overlook the time. We started to overlook how it started looking like. We realized certain parts of the film might be overexposed or underexposed. There was some continuity errors, and we realized, oh no. So this is where it's so important to communicate and also organize everyone, knowing what time it should end, what time it starts, how we want to plan the way it goes, so that if we encounter delays, how we're going to solve this. Everyone must be on the ball rather than one person pushing for everyone in the team, because that is extremely stressful. I have also been in that situation. 3 to 5 years from now, I'm keeping my options open, but I'm hoping to actually produce, potentially direct my own episode, perhaps, because I am working on a show. It would be great to work on the episode, but I'm also open to other concepts, like for short films or even creatively, maybe music-wise, because I am a musical person. I have always been very interested in music. I have sung in choirs, and I've been in certain small performances. So if possible, that would be really great if I can direct maybe a music video. That would be nice. My passion lies in being able to creatively express my ideas well, so that I can direct the scene, direct how it's going to go. And this is why in my course and in my experience through, for example, the technical elements behind the scenes, it really opened my eyes to how you have to know a lot. You have to know everything, a bit of everything, of how things go on set, so that you can talk with everyone and you can explain to them directly, for example, to the camera crew what you want, to the light, to the sound department. You have to know the technical terms that come with it, and only then are you able to express your vision well, and you can become a better director and work well to create that vision that, for example, the artist or for the show that is being done. So certain things I would advise is definitely, yes, it's great to have a passion, but you have to also be mindful that it's not an easy industry to be in, and you have to be open to taking in new knowledge, even if it's not directly pertaining to your field, because ultimately, as we had talked about, teamwork is very important, and if you don't put in the effort to understand your teammates, for the crew, the cast, how are you going to gel together to create something like a show or a production of any means? So definitely be open in terms of knowledge. Learn to communicate with everyone, because without that, nothing much can happen. And take your passion, inspire others, definitely, because it can be you can get weared out in this industry. People suffer burnouts a lot, and they might lose that passion in the industry. But what matters, I think, is learning to, or rather finding the team that propels you and inspires you to continue and keep on finding new inspirations to actually keep producing things that you love, that you enjoy, and that you're proud of. Also, currently, when I help to produce the episodes for Talking Point and I see my name in the credits, I also advertise the episodes on my social media, and I have friends who take screenshots and are like, oh, that's you, congratulations. And that is a small eureka moment for me, but I know I still have a very long way to go. I have still a lot to learn from many different people in the industry. And that's much more exciting for me. Rather than seeing my name there, it's more of, okay, I have that, that's a milestone, but how can I go further?